Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pits of Motor Chaos. This is yours, Dave. I got online special guest, top all-car dragster driver, Angelo Grande. How you doing?
How you doing, sir?
Now, you're not any relation to Ariana Grande, are you?
No, I wish. She got a lot of money.
Yeah. So tell me, Angelo, how did you get started in drag racing?
My dad got me started in it all. He brought me around it when I was about 11 years old. I went to my first Gator Nationals, and ever since then, I've pretty much been addicted to nitro. And Angelo Grande's wife was my brother and sister's pediatrician, so we're quite familiar with them for a long time. And my dad grew up and went to high school with them, so I've been around it. Just never been actually driving or involved in it as far as that goes. And then I met a bunch of people that had some, low budget race cars and stuff. When I was 15, 16, started messing around with top sportsman cars and stuff like that, just working on them. And from there, I just, gained some confidence in myself, just working on these guys' machines and, the things that they were trusting me with and stuff like that. And it just grew from there where I was a real big fan of the pro fuel stuff, the IHRA stuff that was going on when they were calling these A-fuel cars pro fuel cars.
Right.
And I watched it on Speed Channel all the time, and then I found out that they were going to be going to Palm Beach International Raceway for a Nitro Jam event. And so me and my dad talked about it. We weren't going to go at first, and then a good friend of his named Dave Peeler, which I owe a lot of my success, and God bless him, he passed away. But he told my dad, no, we should take him. We could push him to get out there and meet some people and stuff. And so we went, and he really pushed me to go try to talk to some of these people. And then we found out, Bill Evans, who used to own the car before me. It's pretty funny. It's really surreal because I was a fan of his. I watched him on Speed Channel all the time, and all these guys, everybody that's been so gracious to me in the sport so far. I just used to watch all of them, Larry Dixon, all these guys, and I went to this race and got to meet Billy and started hanging out with his son, going to the gym and stuff like that, and just bugged him to the point where he got so annoyed that he finally let me come around and show my skills and stuff like that. And it wasn't easy at first because I pretty much had no skills, so it was a huge learning curve going from LT1 Camaro, which is what I owned and drove through high school, to going to A-Fuel Dragster racing. So but Billy, I owe everything to Billy too, because he pretty much saved my life. I mean, I was going down a bad road back then, had a lot of bad friends and stuff like that, and he just he saw something in me, I guess, and he put in the time and the effort and just really took me under his wing. It's kind of like a second dad, and took me racing and taught me the clutch, and then eventually taught me things on the motor, and raced with him 2011 and 2012, and in 2012 we won the IHRA Pro Fuel Championship, which was really cool. And then 2013 he decided he didn't want to do it anymore, and I pretty much thought my racing days doing that were over, and so I just started working. I started my own business doing mobile fabrications and welding and stuff, and just been working, and everybody that came to buy the car just ultimately never showed up with the cash or whatever the result was. And one day we were just hanging out over a few drinks, and we made a deal on the car and the whole operation, and it's been a wild ride ever since.
Wow. So what year was that when you bought the operation?
I began the purchase in 2015, about 2 years after he decided to hang it up. And, I still stayed pretty active, helping Ron Griffiths and Trisha Smallwood out of Gainesville, Florida. They're good friends of mine. I pretty much consider them family, and I go racing with them every time they go and help them out as much as I can. I like to be around it as much as I can. So much that Angelo Grande actually hooked me up with a really good opportunity when Larry Dixon was testing that two-seat car at Palm Beach. I saw Daryl at lunch one day, and he asked me if I was busy the following day, and I says, "No, I don't got much going on." And he says, "Well, there's something that might be of interest to you if you would like. Larry Dixon's testing something." And I says, "Oh yeah, I'm down." And he asked me if I knew how to do the bottom end on a top fuel car, and I've done it before, so I said, "Yeah, why not?" And when I got there, I couldn't believe my eyes because I just thought it was the coolest thing in the world. But everybody in this sport, what's really attracted me to this sport, and I'm a fan at heart. I might own an A fuel car, I might drive one, whatever, but I'm still a fan, and I still remember where I came from, and I don't let it get to my head. I still go watch all the super gas cars and stuff like that. I mean, I enjoy drag racing as a fan. I go watch the junior cars going. I just love it. I love the people. The people are just good family atmosphere, and just everybody's just so gracious and kind. So, I mean, I can't get away from it.
Yeah, I know you were telling me that people were telling you that it would be unattainable for you to be a dragster driver, huh?
Oh, yeah, growing up, even my own family, my family's nothing but proud. I'm not trying to, make them look bad in any way, but, growing up, I come from a moderate Italian family, and, my grandfather wasn't much into racing. My dad, he grew up, I guess in the days that he grew up, it was all hot rods and stuff, so he kind of was into it. He used to go to Hollywood Speedway, and, he was always into drag racing. My first time ever getting sideways, it was, I was probably like 4 years old, I think, and my dad had a 73 Corvette with a little 383 small block in it or whatever, and he used to put me on his lap. Probably shouldn't say that nowadays, but he used to put me on his lap and get sideways in it and do burnouts and stuff. So, I've always had the car thing ingrained in me. I mean, when I was young, I was 4 or 5 years old. My dad tells a story all the time that I could name every make and model, not the years, but the make and model of every Matchbox car that he would show me. And so, cars have always been my thing. I've always been a mechanical type person, just basically working hard every day to attain my goals. And that's what I really hope I can do with this. Also, I mean, my goal with this is just to enjoy it and have fun. And I look at myself. I'm a fan. If it wasn't for these people in drag racing that gave me a chance and showed open arms, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at and as successful as I am. And so my other goal, other than having fun and hopefully, winning a few, is, if I could get 1 or 2 kids, I mean, I'd love to get them all, but if I could get 1 or 2 kids to actually go after their goals and go after their dreams, that would mean the world because, it's attainable. I don't care what anyone tells you. If you really put your mind to it, I mean, I have let this consume my soul almost. And, if you really want something, it's hard to get there. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there was days where I said, "Why am I doing this?" But in the end result, if I really wanted it, I got it because I really wanted it. And I try to all these young kids that come up to the car and stuff like that. I let them sit in the car. I mean, most people don't do that. I guess maybe because they're afraid of getting sued or whatnot. But I look at it this way. If somebody's going to sue me for trying to make their child happy, then you know what, sue me. I don't know what to tell you. But, I just try to, give these kids something to look for, I mean, you never know. Maybe the kid's feeling down and, you let them sit in the race car and I mean, they're a changed person when they get out of that thing, and none of the parents are upset. They're just, nothing but happy that you even let them sit in the car. So, I'm all about the fans because that's what I am. I'm a fan at heart. I'm pretty much nobody in this sport. People know me just because, I've went around and, promoted myself. But other than that, my dad's never been involved in this sport at all, and nobody in my family has. So it's pretty interesting to be where I'm at, and just all the hard times of work and just struggling to get here, and struggling to get stuff for the car. I mean, it's a very expensive hobby, and I just love it. So to me, I don't really look at the expense part. I mean, obviously, I budget myself, but if I sat there and worried about the money, I wouldn't be doing this. So it's more so because I love it and, I want to live. So.
Yeah, but putting those kids in the seat of the dragster, that creates a memory of a lifetime for them little kids.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they love it. I had a kid, I was at Bradenton testing, and the tech guy, his grandson was there, and, I told him pretty much the weeks leading up to going testing, I said, send him over, man, whatever, we'll put him in the car, whatever he wants, And, I mean, he couldn't stop talking about it. We were there, I tested on a Thursday and a Wednesday, and, even on Sunday when we were fixing to pull out, his grandfather told me, he's like, man, he can't stop talking about how he sat in that car, and it made me feel good. And they also, had me give him a little pep talk about, doing good and, paying attention and having a good work ethic. And, I told the kid, I said, you get out of life what you put into it. If you're lazy and you don't want to work and, you got to go after your goals, and whatever is the shortest step to get into that goal isn't always maybe right, because it might take you elsewhere. So whatever you want, you actually have to sit down and think about, okay, how am I going to get there? Am I going to, what do I need to do to get to this step so that I can get to steps 4 and 5? I mean, that's how I did everything. I basically took everything in steps and said, okay, I need to save this amount of money up. Okay, well, now I need to have this amount of parts before I can go. Okay, and now I need to do this amount of maintenance before, it's been steps that I've learned throughout the years on how to make this work. There's nothing budget about it, but, somewhat on a budget. I try. But,
yeah, then the name Black Pro, I'm sure that appeals to little kids.
Well, I'll tell you something funny about that. Growing up, one of my favorite things at Disney was always Pirates of the Caribbean. I love Pirates of the Caribbean. I've loved that since I was a little kid. That was my favorite ride. And so it's pretty, I don't know, sometimes, some people say maybe it's destiny or whatever, but, I just feel like if you put your mind to stuff, things just, I don't know. It's just so weird how I got on a Nitro team that was called, I don't think it was ever called the Black Pearl, because I think it was an issue with copyright with Disney or something like that, but it's always been Black Pearl, and we did the pirate theme and all that. And, it was pretty cool to get on a team that not only I wanted to be on a Nitro team, but the car was, pirate themed, and that was also, besides cars, one of my favorite things growing up. So it's pretty surreal.
Yeah, there's a jet funny car out there called the Black Pro too.
Yeah, well, we're the OG. I see that all the time, and everybody's like, "Oh, you're copying this guy." I says, "Nope, I got picture proof." Billy had that way back in 2008. So, yeah. But no, it's a blast, man. I'm having so much fun doing this. I have to make one more full pass to get my license. I tore up a cylinder head pretty bad, and I have spare cylinder heads, but I really don't want to use up all my spare good parts just going testing. So I decided at the racetrack to say, you know what, let's just go home and we'll fix everything and come on back and make a couple more hits before Gainesville. But I'm definitely going to be doing some more testing. I met a guy as a race that he does for cystic fibrosis, and I plan on doing that race with him for charity. I want to try to do as much as I can for the kids, man, because if we don't really, a lot of people will laugh it off and this and that, but, it's a lot different nowadays to get kids to focus on stuff. And, if we don't really get people interested, everybody's interested in driving is how I look at it, and everybody's interested in doing something, but if we don't get people to, wanting to start spending money, you're not going to have your future Don Schumachers and your future John Force Racing and, all these big racing enterprises. You're not going to have any of that, and, the sport's going to dwindle in the wind, in my opinion. I'm not trying to wish nothing on it, but, the kids are the key. They're the future of the sport, so if we can, I have tons of ideas, just don't have the resources to put it together, so I'm, working hand in hand with people that have just been really gracious to me and trying to, put some of these ideas out there to task and, get some kids involved. I mean, if it changed my life and got me away from bad people and bad things, then why can't it do it to anybody else? I mean, you're sitting there spending all your money and time on drag racing, you don't got time to mess around. So that's how I look at it.
So, Angelo, what's the quickest pass you made with the dragster?
Well, it pushed the head gasket out. It was on a good run. It went, we put a straight timing curve on it just so I can go A to B and get my license. But it actually performed quite remarkable. It went a 95 60-footer. It went 2.48 seconds to the 330 foot and 3.61 seconds to the 8th mile. It pushed the head gasket out right a smidge before the 8th mile. But it went 203 in the 8th, and then on the last pass, it really torched the other head that we put on it. And I think I'm having a problem with the air system on the car. I got to send the race pack out because we're not seeing any pressure on the BDK, which is basically the valve that controls the fuel pressure in the car. And so I feel like maybe the car is going lean or something because we usually don't have this problem. But it went a 615 at 222 on the last pass, and it pushed the head gasket out at 1,000 feet. So it was definitely on a run. I mean, we were trying to run like 540 in it, like a high 30. Not getting after it because I want to conserve parts. And, like I said, I was just getting my license. So I wanted to take, baby steps. At the end of the day, my right foot's connected to my right back pocket. So, I can't get out there and stab it like most of these people. And, it's tough. I mean, when you tear stuff up, it's definitely not for the faint of heart. I mean, you sit there and you look at all this money that you spent and it gets torn up. I mean, I laugh it off, but everybody else, all my team and my family and stuff, they're like, "Oh my God, that's so much work and so much time." And I'm like, "Well, that ain't nothing." I was like, "That's just a head gasket." I said, "Wait till you see it throw the rods off."
So when did you get your license?
I'm going to go back up in January to Bradenton and make my last full pull. I ran the mile an hour that you needed to get the license. It's just I didn't run the ET because, like I said, I pushed that gasket out a smidge before 1,000 feet. Just the elapsed time was just not enough. I think you got to run a 620 at 205 or better. And I went a 631 at 222. So it was just shy of it. I was right there. But, once I felt the car fall on its face, I let out because, I know how these things are. If you continue pushing fuel on them and it ain't got nowhere to go, then it just goes boom. So
are you planning on doing any events next year?
I want to try to do the Gator Nationals. It all depends on what's work. Business has been, pretty rough. I'm sure it has been for everybody due to this COVID stuff going on. I'm hoping that if everything goes well in the next month or two, we'll be able to get away from town for a little while and go up and do the divisional race and do the national event. I mean, we're probably most likely going to do it, and I looked at it and discussed it with my crew chief and my team. I said, you know what, we have nothing to lose, we might as well do it, and, use the qualifiers as testing, and if we qualify, we qualify. I mean, that would be great. But, I want to take things, a run at a time, like I said, and, I want to do well in this. I want to make everybody who's ever supported me proud and make them look good for, putting the time and the effort into me. So I don't want to be going out there and, driving reckless. I want people to be comfortable when they race next to me. I want them to know that I'm a safe racer and, obviously I'm going to race hard, but I'm not going to, if it's getting out of whack, I'm not the type that's going to get back in it. I don't have millions of dollars and, if I wreck my car, I'm pretty much going to be done for at least a season. So we'll see. I mean, things have been pretty smoothly. We're working on the social media part and trying to get that in order, and just all the marketing stuff that we got to figure out and try to get something on board to help with the consumables will be my biggest thing. Fixing the car and stuff. I pretty much do everything myself other than the machine work. But there's really not much on the car that I don't do myself. So if I could get consumables helped out with and stuff like that, we could I'm hoping we can get out there and be competitive.
Yeah, there's a lot of good competition out there in the top all-car dragster field.
Oh yeah, I've become friends with pretty much all of them, and they're all great people. And I will be extremely humbled when I line up against some of them. I mean, some of those guys out there and girls, they've just been very, very nice over the years. And everybody's always courteous at the racetrack. When we get on the starting line, it's different. But in the pits, I mean, I remember one time. We borrowed a spare motor from Michael Manners, and we beat him in the final with it when we were doing the highest race stuff. So, you think about somebody letting you borrow, off the top of my head, like $60,000 engine. It's crazy to think that people will do that, but that's just racing people. They'll give you the shirt off their back, and that's what drew me to it so bad.
Yeah, you got Karen Stalba coming back next year.
Oh yeah, I was excited to see that. They definitely were a competitive team when they were running in the IHRA stuff with us. It's going to be an interesting field this year. You got Megan Meyer not racing no more. You got Mitch Myers and I forget the other guy's name. I think his name is Chase. They're going to be running this year. Rich McPhillips Jr. is going to be running the car or not, but those guys are great. They've just been nothing but courteous to me, and they always help me out. And John Fink and Jackie Frick, that team is just John's the best. That guy, every time we need help at Gainesville or something like that, we pair something up. I mean, the guy's he helps us out. He always is willing to lend a helping hand. So it'll just be a very humbling experience just to be able to line up next to these guys that I've watched on TV and, watched in person at the racetrack, all these years.
Yeah.
And, all these top fuel guys also that I look up to. It's pretty cool that, me and Larry Dixon have become pretty good friends now. And, it's really a humbling experience to go from looking at these people as your idols to being friends with them. It's really cool.
Yeah, then you got Will Smith with the Harada Motorsports.
Oh yeah. The Haradas are very classy people, man. They're some of the best out there.
Oh yeah.
And it's cool. It's cool to see them. The old man and his wife up there. They're just they keep on going, man. They got nitro in their blood and they ain't stopping.
Yep. So what do you enjoy most about being a drag racer?
I love the adrenaline, man. I mean, that's if I had to say the thing that keeps me doing it the most is that. I mean, stabbing that throttle and just feeling the car. I've actually really surprised. The thing that I was scared of most going into this was not that I was scared of the car or scared of people looking at me or this or that. I was more so scared of not being good at it. And I've gotten really, really used to the car really fast, and I'm really surprised at myself because, to feel what's going on in that car. I mean, at first I was so confused, just because I'm not used to being on such a tire with such a sidewall. So it's a lot to get used to, but I mean, after one or two passes, I mean, I was feeling the car exactly what it was doing. I was pedaling it when I needed to, and I just got really familiar with the car very fast. I'm extremely impressed with the power of that thing. I mean, I've been around this a long time, watched it, all this stuff. Man, that thing surpassed every expectation I ever had for what that was going to feel like. I mean, I think getting shot out of a gun is an understatement because it keeps on pulling. I mean, the power doesn't let up. I mean, that's how you kind of know when it's having problems because it feels like somebody dropped the boat anchor out. But when that thing's on run, man, it keeps pulling. It's quite insane how much power these things make and how much torque they make. The torque is the most mind-boggling part. I mean, it's just an animal. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I really am enjoying it. I'm enjoying my family. They're extremely proud. My dad's just he can't even stop talking about it. he annoys his friends. All he does is talk about it. But, everybody who used to kind of question me doing this and why would you even get into spending money like that? No, you're not going to be able to do it unless you have a sponsor and all this, which, they're not wrong. I mean, I can't run a full schedule and compete for a championship, but, I could go to a few races a year and try to put a dent.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
So currently you have no sponsorship at all?
No, I'm a self-funded guy. I have a pretty good friendship with my local AutoZone, and they help me out with brake cleaner and oil changes for the truck and stuff like that. Just little stuff, but it's a big help. I mean, it definitely helps. And then one of my best friends, he owns a generator and equipment company, and he helps out as much as he can too. And that's pretty much it as far as any type of money coming in. It's not really money; it's just more so parts and stuff like that. But I'm trying to get something small going, and work my way up to the big fish. But like anything, you got to make a name for yourself, and that's what I stand to do. So.
Yeah, you saw John Force had to build himself up from nothing.
Hey, and those are the people that really have inspired me to do this. I sat there and, the nights where I didn't have $1 to put in my truck for gas to go to a job, but I would have, my jobs going, and, employees were the biggest thing that were killing, my business and stuff like that. Just, people not having the same work ethic as me. So I kind of downsized, and I kind of pretty much do everything on my own now. I just hire, a few guys when I need, an extra hand. But I've gotten myself to a point where I'm comfortable with what I do, and I'm just trying to grow. I'm trying to, grow in the sport. I want to start I have a few safety things that I'm kind of designing and getting the kinks worked out and stuff like that I think, it could help people. It's nothing crazy major, but, any little thing that keeps you from getting injured in an accident is key to success. So we'll see what I could bring to the sport. My goal is to do as much possible to keep the wheels turning. I love this sport. It's given back to me so much and, helped my life so much. So I want to, do as much as I can. So.
Yep. So who are your crew members that help keep the wheels turning?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I love this stuff, man. I can't get enough of nitro. It's
asked
actually
you,
pretty bad.
I was asking you who are your crew members that help you keep the wheels turning on that dragster?
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear what you said. So my best friend Brad, I've known him since I was 14, together and stuff. He's my crew chief. He's been the best friend anybody could be. He's always supported me, even when he might have thought that I wasn't going to do it. He was always like, dude, you got to just do what you want to do in life, man. Just go after your dreams. Don't listen to nobody. And, he's helped me along the way, building the trailer and stuff like that. And, just with tools and, nothing crazy, but just, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have gotten this done so fast, because he was a huge help as far as, helping me build stuff, make stuff, and, get things done so we could go racing. And then the other members of my team, Ron Griffiths helps me out. He basically oversees everything and makes sure that we're doing everything right because we're a greenhorn team. I want one thing from my guys, and I tell them all the time, I want professionalism. I do not want anything but. I will not stand for mediocre. And if it's not perfect, it's not going to the starting line. I'm very particular on certain things. I'm not a very strict person, like as far as, do this, do that. But, I want things done right. If we're going to do this, I want to do it and put a dent in the sport and try to, take out some of the competition,
Yeah, you
can't do that unless you have your stuff together.
Yeah, you don't want to half-ass anything.
Nope, not at all. So, and then my fiance, she plays a huge role in it. She supports me. I mean, there's days where I work, a lot of hours, and her and my stepkids, they're always around it. And instead of going out or whatever, we'll be at the trailer working on the trailer, or working on the race car or something like that. And she's been helping out with the social media, and actually she wanted to learn more about the car, and she says, how can I be on the team if I don't know how to do anything? So I told her, I said, be careful what you wish for. So I had her out there doing the bottom end on the race car, and she got to see what it's like to take a shower and have black water run off you. So it's been good for the whole family. My dad's loving it. And then I have a kid. I call him my FNG. He's a young kid. He's about 19 years old, I think, or 20. Damn, I can't believe I don't remember his age. But Larry Dixon actually had him contact me because I guess they know their family or whatnot. And he contacted me one day and told me Larry Dixon gave him my phone number, and I said, what's going on? And, he told me that he was interested in, he wanted to go race and, be involved in this and that. So, I had him come by, and the kid's really good. He's going to school for automotive, and, he has a very good work ethic. He does not, if something's questionable, he doesn't even hesitate. I mean, he told me straight up he's not putting it in there. It's not good. And then I go look at it and see that it's not good. And, and that's what people that want the same success, if not better, than I do. And I feel like I have that. And, I feel like if I can get everybody to start working together and be a perfect unity, like on a crab boat, we always talk about the crab boats, those guys, if they don't have that synchronization together, they will fail. And we were discussing that. We all have a job to do. If someone needs some help picking up slack, that's fine, but stick to your job, do your job, and, make sure it's perfect. And then, once you're done with your job, then we worry about if, something else needs to be attended to or something like that. But, I keep telling them we got to stick to a process. It has to be the same process every single time. No different, no change of events, and no difference in time, doing more segment, no doing this before this and then doing the opposite the next time. No, it needs to be the same every time, because then it'll become muscle memory, and then, we'll have what we need to hopefully succeed in the sport. So, those are the goals.
Now, thinking about doing the same thing every time, when you get out there on a track for racing, do you have any pre-race rituals or superstitions?
I always do right glove first, and my crew chief, before I will not stage the car until he basically shows my visor down and hits me on the top of my helmet with my throttle stop. So it doesn't hit me hard or nothing, just a little tap on the helmet with the throttle stop, and
right.
then I know I can. Then I know I can stage the car. So because we basically, the reason we started doing that is the car had a small fuel leak, and I staged the car. And, if it wasn't for the good starter, I probably would have, stepped on the throttle, and, if he would have made the lights go down and stepped on the throttle, it would have just went up in tire smoke and went to 1 million RPM, So, we made a process after. That was the first run that we went down the track ever, or that I ever went down this track, or any track in this car. So, we had a team meeting, and, I said, first of all, the fuel line issue, that cannot happen. I says, we all need to go around the car 1 million times and make sure stuff's tight, because, that could have ended up bad. Which, these are rookie mistakes, and, that's why I'm not taking myself to any national event or racetrack until, when we go out there, I want professionalism. I want perfection. At the end of the day, it's nitro, so it does what it wants. but I don't want it to be because of me or my guys. I want it to be because of how volatile the fuel is. So, by the third run, if you go on my Instagram and watch the videos, the third run was the night run. I watched that run probably 100 times already, and I keep watching it because I look at that run and I'm like, man, you guys did perfect. We're a greenhorn team, and everybody did their job. It was like it was synchronization for once, and that was our third time going down. So I was very pleased with my crew, and I can only do what I can in the car. I can't see anything, so. I told him, I said, we need to pay attention to the car. We don't need to be getting shut down by somebody from the track. I said, if we see a problem, we need to shut it down. So, I have everybody being super observant to the car. And ever since then, we haven't had, any hiccups. It's been very smooth. Everybody's been doing what they're doing. The process has been the same. And every time we go up there, the movements from the crew is a lot less jerky and it's more smooth, and smooth transitions from handing off the starter or handing off the alcohol bottle. Just everything is getting smoother by the day. So I feel like a few more trips to the racetrack and we're gonna have it together here.
So how was your first time experience going on a track in a top alcohol dragster?
Oh man, it was very emotional, man. I've been wanting to do this since I was 11 years old, and after I stopped the throttle that first time, I only took it out to about the 330. It was a planned shut-off, and when I let it coast on down, I trimmed the fuel back and let it coast on down. That way, nobody had to push me off, and I sat there and saw myself do that, and it was so many emotions. One second I was up and just jumping up and down, excited as it could be, and then then I was crying, wishing my grandpa was there, because we always talked about it, and I always told him I'd make his name proud and stuff like that. So it was just so many emotions, man, at one time, and it was just. I finally made it. I finally achieved my goal in life, and to do that by the time I was 30 years old is really it was really rewarding. Because I sat there and in those split seconds, I thought about everything in life. I thought about all the people, all the haters that said I'd never make it, and said I'd never do it, and just all the people that supported me. I just couldn't thank everybody enough. I think I've called everybody that I know. And drag racing 1,000 times just to thank them for all their support and help over the years. Just they are an attribution to my success. I mean, they really are. Just everybody. I could name them, but we'd be here all night because there's so many people that have been so good to me and helped me out. And it's really amazing, to be at this level, to go from, like I said, I went from driving a 93 LT1 Camaro with a 6-speed and a little 350 LT1 in it with nitrous, and, here I am now driving a A-fuel car. So it's, I drove Super Comp a little bit before the A-fuel deal, but not very long. Drove it a few months and that's about it. So it's quite a hop, tell you what.
All right, so Angelo, what would you consider to be like your fondest memory in drag racing?
I would say, man, that's a tough one. That is a tough one because there's so many good ones. Gosh, I don't even know where to start. I'd probably have to say when we won the championship in IHRA in 2012. Because a lot of those races that year, it was just me, Billy, and the crew chief John, so there was 3 of us. We won 11 out of 13 races, so it was, and we went to every final. And we got the record for IHRA. We went 5:24 and 283. So it was really cool, and actually I think that same year, 2012, yeah, we got the record in 1,000 feet too. We went a 4:48 at 248 miles an hour.
Nice.
So I mean, a 4:48. That's pretty much a half a second off of a turd top fuel run. So it's I'm hoping to get to that very soon.
So what are you looking to accomplish in 2021?
I figure my main accomplishment that I want to accomplish this year is just to get everybody smooth and perfect. And I would like to go to the Gator Nationals and qualify. Like I said, I've been going there since I was 11 years old, and that's where it all started for me. So to participate in that race is going to be a very humbling experience for me. And I've already accomplished the one set of goals, just being able to do this. I would have to figure that would be my second goal, is doing that. And, if I can go a round or two, I mean, that would be great. And that's what we're hoping for. I mean, we're not doing this to mess around and hurt parts. I mean, I'm in this to win it. So if I could just get my guys perfect and, get my maintenance program to what it used to be, I feel like once I get a little bit of help, I could probably do some big things in the sport. And, that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping to, hopefully, I don't know, maybe get somebody involved, or, a company or something, just, pretty much anything that would help out. Because I would love to, my ultimate goal would be to do this, all year long, the whole season. I mean, I would literally probably, if it did happen and I was able to get the sponsorship money, I would pretty much walk away from everything that I'm doing down here because I'm just so tired of it. South Florida has not been too great lately, and I'm sure business is bad everywhere, but man, it's pretty remarkable how many people try to pull a fast one on you, if you will.
Yeah. Okay, well, Angela, you have any final words or shout-outs you want to do before we close?
Yeah, I want to thank everybody in the NHRA and some IHRA people that just have not given up and not thought that I wouldn't make it or whatever. I mean, Larry Dixon's been a huge mentor to me. That guy, I watched that guy growing up, man, and he's always positive. Every time I talk to him, he's always telling me what I should do, how I should treat the car, he's just giving me such a good driving perspective. And, my old boss, Bill Evans, I love the guy. That guy, he changed my life. I mean, if it wasn't for him, ultimately, I wouldn't be where I'm at. I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't be driving. I wouldn't own one. I wouldn't even probably have ever worked on one. So I want to thank everybody who's been good to me over these years. Daryl Gwynn, that guy and his dad Jerry, they're the best people in the world, man. I mean, they I'm nobody in this sport, and they treat me like I'm somebody. So it's really humbling to have all these people, and everybody has been texting me and messaging me and saying congratulations on making your first run. Just everybody's just been so supportive, man. I can't even describe how thankful I am to have such good people in my life. And so we'll see. I'm hoping to do some good things with this, and like I said, I want to enjoy it. But my goal is to win. I would say probably my biggest drag racing goal would be to win a championship one day and hopefully pursue a career in Top Fuel. I mean, that's my goal, is to get to Top Fuel.
Awesome. Well, Angela, I want to thank you very much for taking time to do this interview today, and I wish you the best of luck in 2021 to Top Alcohol Dragster, and I hope you have a Merry Christmas.
You too, sir. I appreciate the call.
No problem. Yeah, we will do another one in the future. Hopefully, we talk about some big wins.
Oh yeah, that's the plan, man. And if you're ever on the East Coast going to a race, come on by.
Definitely will. All right, you have a great night, Angela.
All right, Dave. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.